Today we're going to talk about course expectations and best practices for college prep and honors world history. The goal is to provide a set of expectations for coursework and to build a class rapport that will set the tone for the school year. My goal is to partner with you to achieve success. It is cliched but true that effort and attitude are two standards that generally dictate our success in life. For this class, I highly recommend keeping on top of your daily to-do list. Also, the bulk of your grade for written responses generally center around specific and thoughtful responses. So write clearly, thoughtfully, using specific examples and details, and you should do well. Do your best to connect to the material, and what you want to avoid are general and vague responses. Message me via Canvas whenever you feel stumped or simply to seek clarity. I advise you to attend virtual lessons and or office hours to feel connected to the course. And when I talk about attitude, I mean just try to embrace the learning. I know that we all enjoy different genres and courses, and it's impossible to please everyone, but I will really try to engage you as learners, whether you're a history buff or more of a math person. There's value in learning material we might not ordinarily select. It gives us an expanded perspective and an opportunity to think critically over a broader spectrum. So I'm really looking forward to embracing world history with a fresh eye, and I welcome your unique perspectives as well. The good news is that everybody has an A, and you can keep it or lose it. But remember one thing, you are more than your grade in this course, and I know that. So you might have an A, and that's great, but there's more to you than just being an A student. You might be failing, and I know that there's more to you than that grade. So I always try to see you as the whole person. I never want you to feel intimidated by not reaching out when you're not doing well. I'm here to help you. So we already talked about doing the daily work. If you do get behind, message me for support and strategies, and don't worry about judgment. It does help to keep a to-do list. I never did it when I was younger, and I was amazed by how that simple tool really helped me keep on track. Definitely make sure you save your work somewhere, because I would hate for a glitch to erase all your hard work and effort. Some of you use Google, so that should help. You might want to even create a folder for this class. When you need help on a lesson, please message me, because I can reframe or rephrase the lesson, and sometimes that's all it takes. I will not be offended. I know that everybody processes information differently. So contact me. It's best to do it over the messaging system. I'll get back to you more quickly. If you do it in the lesson itself, I might not get to grading for a few days. So message me, and I'm happy to help. I want to help you. It makes me feel like there's a person behind the screen whenever I hear from you guys. So please contact me if you have any questions. So we already talked about contact, and that Canvas message is the best way to do it. If you do message me, try to be as specific as possible so I can troubleshoot effectively. So I'm already ready to help you. when I call you or contact you. And you can ask me to open up individual office hours or to call you, whatever works. Sometimes you just have a quick message that only necessitates a reply, and that's fine, but feel free to request individual office hours. Most people do. The lesson help is time set aside for students to visit the online virtual room for help. And there's a link in the course on the homepage. And so you can just come into the room and no question is too small. Sometimes the small questions unlock the bigger concept. And I can provide examples of clarification or even go over work you've already done if you're unsure about it. My lesson help is at 3 p.m. daily, but most students ask for individual times, and that's fine. I'm here from 9 to 5. Usually that works out better. So I just have to post a specific time, but really I'm available across the spectrum. So when you message me, list a few times that work for you, and I'll get right back to you. Virtual lessons are live lessons in the virtual room once a week. That will be at noon on Wednesdays, and the purpose is really to enhance lesson content. I strongly encourage you to attend. It helps me to get to know you better as individuals, and I will try to remember to record the meetings so that you can revisit it as a reference. So you can find the virtual lesson and office hours, links and times in the syllabus and on the homepage. So it's everywhere. Extension policies. I'm going to fix this right here as I see it. Extension policies. If you need an extension to submit work, again, just contact me via Canvas or call me. I am authorized to give extensions for up to 3 days, and students with IEPs will receive extra time as per contract, usually 3 days as well. If you need a longer extension, there is a referral link for you to fill out, and you can contact your guidance counselor for permission. I'm not authorized to give longer extensions. Progress checks are every 3 weeks, and progress checks gives you a snapshot of your performance at regular intervals so that you know where you're at those given times. So it's really a tool to help you keep on track. Assignment expectations and types. So you have discussion questions, usually a forum. Usually these prompts are designed to connect to a theme prior to reading, but sometimes it's just touching base during readings or in the middle of a unit as well. They tend to be subjective. They don't always require prior reading. And often they don't take very long to complete, but it's still important to render a thoughtful response that, again, is not vague or general. Full credit is not given automatically. And writing should still be clear, so proofread for errors. And written responses are typically 1 to 2 paragraph responses targeting a prompt or topic. And I encourage you to write responses that are more analytical than summary. I don't want to hear just what something is. I want to hear the reasons behind it, or the whys, or how you would justify a response, or the greater significance of it, the impact. So always go beyond the what. Quizzes typically cover 1 unit, and they tend to be 1 attempt open book. If 2 attempts are given, your grade will be average. So if 1 test is a 60 and your second attempt is an 80, you will earn a 70. I really encourage reviewing before you take the quizzes. And I will tell you now that the first quiz that students took last year, a lot of them bombed because they didn't really read. And so they figured it out pretty quickly and did better following that quiz. This year we will have midterms and finals. We'll cover topics addressed over marking period 1 and 2 and the midterm, and then marking period 3 and 4 and the final. Typically, it's about 10-15% of your grade, and multiple choice, matching, true, false, and short written responses may be on these quizzes. At times, we'll have creative projects with alternatives that you can pick among. So reading expectations, we already talked about expectations that you will access your online textbook as we traverse through the units. The lessons might not cover every single thing, so it is important that you read to augment your lesson learning. And you can use the program section or the e-text in your online resource. And I talked about that in accessing your online textbook. So definitely read. Keep up with the reading. And usually it's just a few pages a day, so it shouldn't be too time consuming. And there is that audio button within the e-text. So it's very important that you get some of that independent and enriched learning. There are also some short clips in the e-text and the programs in your online reading source, and I recommend watching them. They're usually just a few minutes, and it contextualizes the information in that topic. So another thing is that note-taking can be helpful. The research says that note-taking is more effective when it is written rather than typed, and it is not effective to rewrite what is written in entirety. So just focus on key ideas. It's okay to draw pictures, doodles, create charts, or devise your own methods of note-taking, whatever helps you remember. So different people remember things differently. Some people, when they're doing artwork as they read and doodling, process the information better. So the one interesting thing, though, is that note-taking tends to be more effective when you handwrite. There's something about that movement connecting to the brain that allows the brain to just absorb the information more. But at the end of the day, you have to figure out what works for you. Writing expectations. You just want to use strong, concrete examples. Always assume you must explain or justify your response. Never just say something is good, bad, or interesting. You have to explain why and give specific, concrete examples. How was Napoleon's leadership good? What specifically did he do that exemplified good leadership or bad leadership, or was he just a mixed bag? Avoid text lingo, wanna, kinda, gonna, and things like that. Don't use lowercase i's for the pronoun I. Avoid repetition in a paragraph where you're just restating the same thing over and over. Let's keep it fresh. I want you to get the best grade that you can, and that's why I'm telling you now what the writing expectations are. From here, send me a message. I want to hear from you. I want to see that you're using your Canvas messaging service. You can also check out the How to Access Your Textbook lesson. And that's about it. I'm really looking forward to getting to know you.